Mia speaking.
Hi, it's Mark.
Oh, hey, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Good, good, good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Did you watch my live stream?
It wasn't working on my computer.
Oh, they might have...
I have a bad computer.
Or maybe
Here.
they blocked it from your office so people don't watch at work.
You know what? That's what they probably did.
Mm-hmm.
How is it going?
It's doing good.
Are you beating? Are you winning?
Well, I won my last game, but I'm going to play with one of the best Canadian players next round, so it's going to be interesting.
Who are you playing against?
I'm not sure how much research you've done, but he's called Huck Chris
Oh,
Loringer.
yes, I've heard of Huck. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm about to play him next round.
Is this just an online tournament, or?
It's a qualifier for a bigger online tournament. So this is an online tournament, but it's a small qualifier.
Oh, okay. What's the bigger online? What's the larger tournament that you'll be in?
Well, this tournament is like something like a 40,000 prize pool, and it's like 32 players, and it has like a really good production. And then there's like something like 16 qualifiers for it. So,
okay.
But the online tournaments are not as big because people can always cheat over the internet.
Yeah.
So this is definitely like the biggest online tournament. But
What's it called?
It's called TSL, Team Liquid Star League.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Team Liquid is the biggest community site for StarCraft 2.
Yeah, yeah. I started coming across that.
Yeah. How deep are you in your research?
I'm kind of at the beginning.
I see.
So I'm kind of almost halfway there. We're just trying to figure out what the story is.
Mm-hmm.
But I was given your name by somebody who I was talking with here about eSport Championships.
Yeah.
And
that guy contacted me after you contacted me.
Oh, super.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to hear about, what your story was about you, how you got into competing when you went over to Korea, and when you came back.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Sorry?
No, go ahead. First, how old are you, Mark?
I'm 22.
You're 22.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're in Montreal?
Yes, suburbs of Montreal's.
Okay.
Well, my story started like I don't know like how much you know about esports. That's how we call like competitive gaming. It's a bit like the Olympics, but the difference is, or sports, some sports disappear and some sports last really long. So like StarCraft 1 lasted 12 years, and I started with a sports called Warcraft 3. It's gone now, but back then it had about the same size as StarCraft 2 that is now. It was a bit downsized because it was in 2006, 7, 8. So esports has been around a long time. I've been playing the game StarCraft 2 since it came out. I was always like an esports fan, and I thought, trying to be a pro gamer, making a living out of playing video games would be a cool thing. But a lot of people see StarCraft 2 as like a hobby, so they play it as a hobby while working or studying. And then if they have like enough talent while not putting too much time into it, and they're good enough, then they'll make the transition into full-time. But a lot of people like me that play full-time are rare. There's about like...
That's what I'm finding, yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of them in Korea, but in the Western world, it's a lot downsized than Korea.
And then when did you start playing full-time?
Well, I started from the get-go. I got lucky enough that my parents would let me live at a very low cost here. So I started full-time from the get-go. I mean, there's really two ways to get good at the game. It's either you have talent and you play part-time, or you try from the get-go full-time. So I've started when it got released in 2010. So September 2010 I started, and then I started making money around March 2011.
Oh, really? So within a year and a bit?
Yeah, around like 6 months. But that's another point.
And how did you start making money?
Yeah, that's another point I want to get to. There's two types of income, sort of. There's being an entertainer, and there's being a good competitor. So for my case, I didn't play the StarCraft Brood War as much, so it was harder for me at first. So I took the entertaining route. So my stream is like radio, sort of like I try to entertain my fans. It's like a community. We talk all day and I play games. But you also have the competing side, where if you're like one of the best, you can make a lot of money.
So how do you make money on the entertaining side?
Well, I won some tournaments at first, but it was like $50 there, $50 here, and then it didn't happen too often. So with live streaming, you have an audience. Let's say you have 1,000 viewers. Every time you run a commercial, you have $3.50 per commercial, and then you can like run 3 at once. So you make about like $9 if you have 1,000 viewers. So like right now, I have 1,000 viewers, and if I would run commercial and make $9, and let's say I do 6 commercials an hour, then I'd make $16. But if you're, I started around like 100 viewers, so it takes a time. It takes a time to build your brand and build who you are, and yeah.
Okay. And so you started off doing the entertaining route, and then you went to competing?
Yes. But there's one thing I didn't mention. There's coaching too. There's people that look up to you and they're like, "Oh my God, your strategy is good, and I like what you do. Could you like take an hour with me and coach me?" And then you can charge, they're like the top players that have like a really strong personality and that are really popular. They can charge $80, $100. The best players charge $300, but they don't have that many students, obviously. I started out as like $12, then $15, $20, $25, then $30 before I left for Korea. During Korea, it was at $40, and now I'm back at $20 because I got to pay for that trip to Korea. So.
And is that an hour or just per lesson?
It's an hour. It's an hour,
okay.
And then there's different routes you can take. You can be like, don't message me outside the coaching. I don't have time. I'm not too friendly. But me, I let people message me all the time if they have questions, and I like to help people. So.
Okay. And so about a year ago, you started making some money, competing and coaching and doing all this. When did you decide to go to Korea?
I started wanting to go to Korea around June, July, because I just wanted to get out of my house, experience. Because that's one thing with pro gaming. It's like the top competitors, they get flied out to like all across the world. There's always like tournaments in Europe and America, but we'll talk about that later, but I started wanting to go to Korea in June, July, but I wasn't good enough. So then I practiced super, super hard, and then I had some decent online achievements, and then I was accepted in a Korean house. It's I don't know if you've heard of Global StarCraft League, GSL, or no, it's GomTV StarCraft League. It's on TV in Korea, and it's one of the big league, and they made a house in Korea, and then you can apply, and then if you get accepted, you go live there. You have free living, outside food, and a few things like soap for your laundry. But yeah, and then I got accepted, and then I stayed 6 months, from December to June.
Oh, so just recently you came back?
Oh yeah. I came back like 8 days ago.
Oh wow! All right. And is that just because your time there, you only are allowed to be in the house for 6 months, or why did you come back?
Well, I mean, I could have stayed there longer because the house is quite empty. They have new rules where you have like a 3 or 6 month period, but I could have stayed there longer because it was empty. But it's just I didn't like staying there just because the time zone. For me to keep my crowd, I had to wake up at 6 p.m. and then I had to go to bed at like 7 a.m. So I never really saw the sun. It was hard for me to stay motivated, so I just wanted to make a change and come back. But there's other gaming houses across the world. There's a gaming house in Poland. There's a gaming house in California in the United States. So maybe at the end of the year, that's something I'm thinking of. Because, like Canada, so the winter is really painful. So trying to escape that as much as I can.
Yeah. And so these gaming houses, who pays for them?
The one in California is equipment company. It's like they sell mouse, keyboard, mouse pad, etc. And they've made the gaming house. The one in Poland is organized by a few Polish guys, and then they rent you a slot in the house for 800. The one in California, 800 a month, 800 USD. They give you food. They have a gym. They have a cook and a maid. That's one thing too in Korea. That like the reason people go into houses is because they can focus on the game. So good houses have a maid to cook food, a maid to clean that come every day. Unfortunately for me in Korea, I didn't have that. My house wasn't good enough. But they have that in Poland, and then in California, I'm not sure exactly how they run. I think they pay you the food, but you just have to get there, and same thing with Poland.
Okay. And so you're hoping to go to one in California in the fall, or when do you want to go to one in California?
Well,
maybe California?
Yeah, California or Poland. I mean, Poland is going to be cold, but it would be really nice to go to Europe for my first time. So.
And when would you go?
Well, like I said, like in fall, like around December, just so I can dodge the snow, really.
Oh, just okay. Super. No, yeah, that's perfect.
But there's also, because I want to attend LANs in the US, tournaments, live tournaments. There's I don't know if you've heard of MLG in your research, but there's MLGs like in spring, summer, fall, and winter. So I plan on attending the summer one, I plan on attending the fall one, and then after that I'd be ready to move out. Because if you go to Europe, like it's really you're not gonna fly out of Europe to America unless you're a really really good players. Like I said, like maybe like the top 30, 50. No, just 30. The top 30 of the best players, the best competitors, they get flied out like from everywhere. Like Huck, for example. He went to Korea, then to America, then he went back to Korea, then to America. Now he just went to Sweden, now he's back in America. And speaking of Sweden, there was a LAN last weekend. You can find a lot of good numbers about that. They added on Swedish TV, and it had a peak of 210 concurrent viewers. 210,000, sorry. And they had an average of something like 50K. So the numbers are there, but it's mostly like online TV. I know it can be scary for the old folks or the people that are selling cable, but we're striving away from TV, and we just watch everything online or on our phone or tablet or that sort of stuff.
And the crowds are huge at these MLG events. It's huge.
Yeah, like it was my first MLG. I went straight from Korea to MLG and then back home. And I met so many fans at MLG. I signed shirts. I signed a piece of paper, like computer cases, mouse pads, and I took pictures.
And so which MLG was that?
That was MLG in Anaheim. MLG Anaheim. It was the Spring Championship.
Okay. How did you do in that one?
I lost to the guy who finished fourth.
You got fifth place?
The guy, so like the way it works, it's called an open bracket, and there's 128 players, and then round 2 I got the guy who finished fourth, a Swedish player who lives in Korea, so he was like really really good. And then on day 2, like I didn't know how nervous I would be, and I couldn't sleep. So next time I'll take sleeping pills. That's something a lot of players take just to be able to have their sleep, because you don't play your best when you're tired.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because it might sound silly that it's a computer game, but doing stretches, staying hydrated, and being in good health, which isn't my case, but I'm working on it, is really important. Like in Sweden, they even rent a masseur or a guy that does massage for your body and your hands and your arms, so you can be relaxed and play well. Like the health aspect of StarCraft 2 at a really high level is really important.
Wow.
Yep.
And that's in Sweden. Is that at a gaming house in Sweden?
Oh, no, it was like for the big tournament. They
okay.
They hire a guy for the whole weekend, and you can go see him if you have pain. Because you play like 10 hours a day, so you might have carpal tunnel, or your hand might hurt, stuff like that.
Okay. And So you, and what is it about, StarCraft, what's it about StarCraft that you like?
Well, I mean, it's the competition. It's like an online competition. Every game you are challenged to do your best and to outwit and outlast your opponent. And yeah, I mean, it's just really fun, and it's called a real-time strategy game, and it was the same in Warcraft 3. I mean, like I said, esports, there's all sorts of Olympic games if you want, and there's different type. There's like RTS like this, then you have MOBA, which is if in chat you can tell me what MOBA stands for, I would love you. There's like first-person shooter games. So there's all sorts of games, and well, I'm a fan of RTS, so.
You like RPS?
Yeah, MOBA is multiplayer online battle arena. It's like a 5v5. It's a League of Legends. I don't know if you've heard it in your research. Yep. It's really popular. So you have like all different kind of tastes and sort of game.
Okay. And how is Canada? I mean, like you talk about going to Korea to play, going to the States. Are there any gaming houses in Canada?
I think there's
any big championships that we have.
I think there's one in Toronto or Ontario, and there's actually a big land coming up. It's a tournament called North American Star League. They used to do it in California, but they're going to do it in Toronto this year. We have like a big crowd. But we have good players too. We're getting better players as every day, and we're gonna have NASL and World Championship Series. I think it's a tournament organized by the makers of StarCraft 2, Blizzard. So they're making a World Championship, and there's gonna be like the Canadian finals, which qualifies you for the World Championship, and it's going to be in Toronto. I can give you the exact dates in a second. Guys, give me NASL dates. And basically, yeah, so it's going to be big. It's going to be in Toronto. And we have Barcraft. That's not something we didn't touch. Like, Barcraft is big. It's like people that basically like go ask a bar or run a bar, and they're like, okay, well, this Sunday there's a big tournament in Sweden or in America, and we switched the bar into a Barcraft, which is basically StarCraft on monitors and the bar, and people drink and watch the games and enjoy them together. If you want to do some research into Barcraft Montreal, they had a really big Barcraft with a lot of people.
Yeah, I've seen that coming up, Barcraft Montreal. Like, is it mostly in Montreal that happens?
I think there's some in Vancouver. I think there's some in Toronto. I think I don't
Montreal
know.
seems to have the best ones.
Yeah, it's like yeah. Because it's like a club. It's not like a bar. It's a club, so it's definitely a bigger size. And the big okay, guys, the big tournament in Toronto is July 14 to 15. I'm not sure exactly the location.
That's the World Champion, the Canadian Finals?
Yeah, plus the NASL Finals. So there's like 2 tournaments at the same event. Because
July 14 and 15.
Yeah, because renting a venue is expensive, so sometimes tournaments will like group up and do it at the same place.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Do you have to go and start playing your tournament again?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We're good for now. As I said, I'm still in the process of doing all the research.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to.
There's a lot for me to figure out. But I'll let you go play your tournament, and I'm going to see if we can come to this event in July. But what I'll do is I'll send you some emails.
Okay? Yeah, that's fine.
Follow up. Okay, does that sound all right?
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Thank you for your time.
Awesome. Okay, and good luck on your tournament.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Bye.